Ethan Ward and the Lost City of the Amazon. Chapter 1. Into the Green Abyss. The helicopter's blades cut through the humid air, a mechanical hum quickly swallowed by the endless wall of green that surrounded them. When it lifted off, carrying away their last connection to civilization, silence fell. Thick, heavy, alive. Ethan Ward adjusted the strap of his weathered satchel and inhaled the earthy scent of wet foliage. His skin, already slick with sweat, tingled from the stark humidity of the Amazon rainforest. Sophia stepped up beside him, wiping a strand of chestnut hair from her face and tucking it beneath her cap. Her emerald eyes scanned the tree line as if she could see through the jungle itself. Behind them, Marcus checked their gear with quiet efficiency, his face as calm as ever. He was their anchor, an expert in logistics and field security who rarely showed nerves, no matter how hostile the environment. They had come chasing a rumor. Fragments of an ancient tablet surfaced on a black market forum weeks earlier, intercepted by Marcus's cyber monitoring. The symbols hinted at a civilization older than the Mayans, older even than the Olmecs, and spoke of a great city swallowed by the rainforest centuries ago. A city that, according to legend, had mastered the flow of rivers, a feat that suggested knowledge far ahead of its time. Ethan looked at his team. They had faced danger before, but this was different. The Amazon was merciless, its beauty masking lethal unpredictability. If this city exists, Ethan thought, it changes everything we know about pre-Columbian history. With maps, GPS devices, and old explorer journals, they set off along a narrow path barely visible beneath the thick undergrowth. Every step into that green abyss felt like stepping back in time, into a world unclaimed by modern life. Chapter 2. The Path of the Jaguar. The first days blurred together in a rhythm of survival, hacking through vines, wading through waist-deep rivers, and navigating the oppressive heat that clung to them like a second skin. The jungle was alive with noise, monkeys howling in the distance, birds screeching from high canopies, and the constant hum of unseen insects. Sophia, though used to fieldwork, struggled at first with the sheer intensity of the terrain. Yet she adapted quickly, her determination shining every time fatigue threatened to slow her pace. Marcus carried more weight than anyone else, his military past showing in his steady movements and unflinching focus. On the fifth day, something shifted. Ethan felt it before he heard it. A stillness, as if the jungle itself held its breath. Then came a sound, low and resonant, rolling through the trees like distant thunder. A growl. From the shadows, a jaguar emerged, muscles rippling under golden fur spotted like night stars. Its amber eyes fixed on Ethan with a predator's unflinching intensity. For a moment, time slowed, and Ethan felt the primal weight of those eyes, an apex predator judging whether to kill. He raised his hand slowly, stepping slightly in front of Sophia, whose breath had caught in her throat. Marcus, quick to react, slipped a flare from his pack, igniting it with a hiss. Bright red light and smoke exploded into the air, startling the big cat. It leapt sideways, claws tearing the ground, and then retreated into the darkness with a final chilling snarl. The jaguar's presence was more than a threat. It was a warning. This jungle belonged to no one but itself. As they moved on, Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that the jaguar was still out there, shadowing them like a guardian or a curse. Chapter 3. A city forgotten by time. The terrain gradually changed, rising from swampy forest floor to rocky highland wrapped in mist. On the 7th day, after hours of climbing and following the path etched on a weathered explorer's map, they saw it. An unnatural plateau crowned by towering waterfalls. And there, almost hidden by centuries of vegetation, was the city. Stone pillars jutted from the earth like the ribs of some long-dead colossus, their surfaces carved with symbols Ethan had never seen before. Vines hung like curtains over massive stone doors, and statues of jaguars, some upright like sentinels, others crouched as if ready to pounce, lined a staircase leading into the city's heart. Sophia knelt by one mural, brushing off centuries of moss to reveal a scene of rivers radiating from a central point, controlled by strange devices that resembled both gears and organic forms. They understood hydraulics, possibly even engineering beyond their time, Ethan thought. Marcus snapped dozens of photos while setting up a perimeter. "We're not alone," he said, pointing to fresh boot prints in the soft soil. Whoever else had come this far had beaten them by days, maybe weeks. Inside, the city felt untouched by time. Buildings still stood, albeit strangled by roots and moss, and courtyards revealed fragments of pottery, tools, and statues. Yet there was something eerie about it, as if the city itself was holding its breath, waiting for something or someone to disturb its long slumber. Chapter 4. The Shadow of Draven Kyle. That someone was Draven Kyle. Ethan had crossed paths with Kyle once before, years earlier in Morocco. Back then, Kyle had been merely a rival academic with questionable ethics. Now he was infamous, a treasure hunter who raided archaeological sites and sold priceless artifacts to the highest bidder, regardless of cultural loss or legality. Kyle and his hired mercenaries appeared at sunset, blocking the main exit of the plaza. He was tall and sharp-featured, with eyes that radiated arrogance and cruelty. His black tactical gear contrasted sharply with Ethan's worn explorer's clothes. Kale wanted one thing, an obsidian idol rumored to control water. "Hand over the map, Ward, or I take it from your corpse," Kale sneered. Ethan's instinct told him Kale was dangerous, not because of his words, but because of the calm way his men aimed their weapons. A frantic chase erupted, with Ethan, Sophia, and Marcus weaving through crumbling alleyways and across precarious stone bridges while bullets chipped away at ancient walls. Sophia nearly fell when one bridge collapsed behind her, but Ethan's quick grip saved her from plummeting into a ravine. They regrouped inside a temple, its entrance partially hidden by overgrown vines. There, on a golden altar, rested the idol, a jaguar-shaped sculpture of polished obsidian, its emerald eyes gleaming as if alive. Ethan carefully lifted it, marveling at its craftsmanship and at the weight of history it represented. But Kale was relentless. His voice echoed through the corridors, promising that resistance would only make their deaths more painful. Chapter 5. The Heart of the Storm. Before Kale could reach them, the ground shook violently. Stones rained from the ceiling, and somewhere deep within the temple, a roar reverberated. The jaguar had returned, drawn to the idol's energy. The beast leapt between Ethan and Kale's mercenaries, scattering them like dry leaves. Chaos erupted. Kale shouted orders, but his men hesitated, unwilling to face a predator of such raw power. The jaguar's eyes locked on Ethan, then shifted to Kale, as if making a choice. With a thunderous growl, it lunged, not at Ethan, but at Kale, knocking the weapon from his hand. The mercenaries panicked, retreating under the cat's ferocious onslaught. Ethan used the opportunity to seal the idol back inside its stone cradle, covering it with debris to ensure it would remain hidden. The jaguar stared at him again, amber eyes glowing, then vanished into the shadows, leaving an unsettling calm in its wake. By the time Cale regrouped, Ethan and his team were gone, already disappearing into the dense rainforest. They had no artifact, no evidence beyond their word, but they had achieved something greater. They had preserved the city's secrets from falling into the wrong hands. Chapter 6. A bond forged in shadows. Exhausted and battered, the trio finally reached their extraction point days later. The jungle had left its mark, scratches on their arms, bruises on their legs, and memories etched into their minds forever. For Ethan and Sophia, something deeper had shifted. Facing death together, relying on each other for survival, had deepened their bond beyond words. Marcus, ever the pragmatist, gave them space while managing the logistics of their safe return. As the helicopter lifted them above the canopy, Ethan looked down at the green expanse and thought about what they had found. A civilization, erased by time, yet still alive in whispers and stone. Somewhere in that jungle, a jaguar watched, guardian of secrets mankind was never meant to control. The world would never know the full story of what they discovered. And that, Ethan thought, was exactly how it should be. If you enjoyed the story of Ethan Ward and want to keep learning English through more of his thrilling adventures, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. New stories are coming soon.